In teen relationships, they don't have a solid example of what a normal, healthy relationship is.
Freedom is really important. Freedom to express yourself.
Yes.
Freedom to express what you want and what you need. And most importantly, it is freedom to end the relationship without feeling threatened.
A healthy relationship is definitely predicated upon you. You know, it starts with you. It starts with, that includes your history, your background, your association.
A lot of victims say that there were red flags that they might have recognized, and that's really expressions of really strong feelings up front. 2 weeks in, I love you, we're going to get married, you know, we're perfect for each other, and things like that, which when you're in the beginning of a relationship can seem really sweet. So I'm not saying that that means your relationship is going to become abusive, but that is something that we hear from people looking back on their situation. You build up that dependence, you start spending more and more time with somebody, they're saying, I don't want you doing cheerleading because, you know, then I can see you after school, or I don't like that friend so much, or I don't want you to go to the family picnic, I want you to hang out with me, or I don't want you to go into that party because there's going to be other guys there, and you know I want you all to myself, that's because I love you so much. So those things are incredibly subtle, but the more and more time you spend with somebody, it becomes a real loving relationship.
It's very important to make clear that abuse is not just physical. It is not just physical. Emotional abuse is very, very serious, and it leads to depression, it leads to suicide attempts, eating disorders, all kinds of very serious health issues.
Well, I know one for myself personally that I've been subjected to is the verbal abuse, the mental abuse. I mean, it has such an effect upon your self-esteem.
Absolutely.
It starts with the wearing down of the self-esteem. People don't just start kicking and punching and choking.
No.
They start by calling you different names, by putting you down, by isolating you from friends and families.
And a majority of the phone calls that come into 911 are in fact related to domestic violence.
What's one of the two most popular words that you hear in music videos?
We can't say that, okay.
Bitch and hoe.
Well, in rap, yeah.
Yeah,
I
but
wouldn't say
lyrics, in the 1970s, you know, hip-hop and rap lyrics actually used to empower black women.
Absolutely.
What do they do now? They degrade women and they glorify violence.
Yeah.
No longer are women fly girls. They're
Absolutely.
now hoes.
But that's a specific community and a specific population.
No,
Well, we have
it's
to address
commercial across the board. That is no longer, absolutely
It's
not,
not
directed
ethnic.
at, no, not at all.
Everyone listens
disagree.
to hip-hop.
I don't think that it's necessarily...
It's incorporated into television commercials, any kind of
see it on the
campaigns,
sitcoms.
politics. Come on.
But
Hip-hop
even
is not incorporated into politics.
Are you kidding me?
Yes, I am completely serious. I mean, actually, hip-hop artists were banned from the inauguration.
But it's beyond the hip-hop community.
Yeah.
Also, you know, WWE, they portray masculine men who treat women as sexualized objects who are cheering for them on the
No,
sidelines.
absolutely. I completely agree. And country music does the same. I just don't think we can blame hip-hop music for, like, all of the country's problems.
I think we're more like discussing, you know, different types of media, music, video games.
Yeah,
also, we have to look at
absolutely.
retailers.
Abercrombie and Fitch. Yeah, totally.
Now
Yep.
they have thongs for 10-year-olds with seductive slogans like wink wink and eye candy.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
As a parent, there's a lot of things you can do to protect your young person in the household, staying involved in your children's lives, making sure you're building trust over the course of their lives, not suddenly when they're 16 asking them trying to invade and say, you have to stop seeing this person, or tell me what's going on. But this is something that has to start at a young age to kind of build trust so that there's communication going on between your children and the parents. Those relationships that you experience when you're 15, 16 years old are incredibly intense, and the mistake that a lot of adults make is to minimize what that experience is like and say, it's puppy love, you'll get over it, plenty of fish in the sea, and that's the kind of thing that really just alienates young people. Lately, you see a lot of increase in technology abuse, a lot of constant texting or kind of tracking somebody's movement. So checking somebody's phone. Who have you been talking to? Who's that guy? I don't want you talking to that person. Or you're getting in trouble if you don't respond fast enough. I got to answer the phone. So that could be one of the signs, for instance, that a guidance counselor might see, or a parent. So I have to answer this call because they're fearful that if they don't respond in time, he's going to be angry or she's going to be angry, and they're going to get in trouble with the abusive partner. A lot of harassment that's happening online. So threats and abuse and sabotage of people's MySpace page or Facebook page, something like that. There are higher rates of STDs among abuse victims. There are higher rates of illegal substance abuse and drinking, eating disorders, early pregnancy, because there's a lot of birth control sabotage. So abusers will keep the victims from using birth control.
Well, a lot of teens want independence from their parents and from their family, so they feel that they cling to this new relationship and they're breaking away. So it's very important that when anybody out there begins a new relationship, to keep their family ties, to have support from their peers, and really look to role models.